What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here, and welcome to today's Town Hall 9 video, where we are showing you how to 3-star any Town Hall 9 base. This is the Lavaloon Attack Strategy. It is certainly being top of the meta for a number of years now, and we're going to break it down for you in today's video. If you find this one helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Clash of Clans. Getting into the video then, there are certainly some bases that you might bring a kill squad for this attack strategy. So what you're trying to do is, in step 1 of this strategy, you want to try and take out some key objectives. Now that might be an air defense 2 or 3, the clan castle troops, or the enemy archer queen. It can be a number of these. You don't have to take all of them out as long as you have a plan for it. As you can see on this one, the bowlers in the clan castle are very helpful to push into the base along with your heroes and take out a number of air defense. Now comes the Lavaloon portion. So first of all, you're going to bring in your lava hounds to pin them to the air defense. You will see a variety of different base layouts for this as well, and how you don't always have to do things exactly the same. So check out how there's only one air defense left. What you do not want to do is send your lava hound in the closest route. You want to bring your balloons in a circular fashion around the remaining defenses. So haste spells are fantastic for pushing balloons up towards the lava hound. That is because balloons have such a high damage output, they only need the speed, which is where the haste spells come in. On this base layout, which is more of your traditional Lavaloon, we pushed heavy, took out some key objectives, and just used Lavaloon on part of the base. This varies massively, guys. You can either take out just a small section and Lavaloon the whole portion, or just a very slight portion, as in this one. The final step is your cleanup squad, which is basically to take out all of the remaining buildings, once the defenses are down. We will cover this as we go over the next attacks. That is the first one. Let's show you against a couple of different base layouts and a couple of different versions of this Lavaloon. Again, you can really take out pretty much any base layout, I would say, at Town Hall 9 with this strategy. Checking out this second one then, again, if you're thinking about them steps that we initially went over, think about luring the CC, taking that out, the enemy queen, or a number of air defense. Now, we used a balloon there just to check if there was anything in the CC. There obviously is, but it's nothing which is going to cause our Lavaloon any issue. So actually, instead of wasting troops, we're just going to leave it. We are creating a funnel here in order to push in towards some of the air defense, but more importantly, what we are doing is creating a path of defenses. That's a step that I didn't really mention in that first attack. What you need to be able to do is control the balloons around the base. So when we were mentioning bringing the lava hound in and the balloons behind, you need to be able to control where they go. Otherwise, your raid might not end up in that 3-star. What we're doing here is trying to take out the enemy queen. So thinking about them key objectives we were talking about, we're taking out the enemy queen and one air defense for this one. And notice how we send the lava hounds in towards the other air defense. Bring them in at separate angles if you're bringing more than one. If there's a number of air defense and a number of defenses left, you're going to need more, but it all depends on how many defenses you have. Notice how we're coming around the base in a horseshoe fashion towards the outside defenses with the balloons and the haste spells. That means that once they go down, your balloons in the middle here, notice how they go straight to the defenses in the middle. They're not coming back out to the side. They're controlled right through the middle of the base. The balloons on the outside here taking out the archer tower means that the balloons then don't have to come outwards towards the archer tower. They move through the base and through the center. So what you try and do is come in at different angles to take out the defenses on the perimeter, so that your balloons merge together into the middle to take out them heavy hitting defenses. Onto that final stage, we have a couple of minions and archers. You can really use anything at this stage, but you're wanting to use pretty much cheap troops in order to take out them defenses, and just means that your balloons here don't have to then track down to the buildings on the bottom. You've already got troops taking it out. However, your lava pups from your lava hounds will do that job as well, and that's an important point, guys. You don't want to take too many lava hounds. You actually want them to pop. You do not want your lava hounds to not pop if you can help it, because then there's no point in having them at the end of the raid once the defenses are down. Having the lava pups means that you can control the attack a little bit more and take out the defenses at the end. Moving on to this third attack then, let's break this one down. So coming forward, we have the enemy queen. I would say that is the most important thing to take down, but it does depend on what's in the clan castle as well. If there's any splash troops that will attack your balloons, that might be wizards for example, then you need to take that down. But coming forward, you can see the queen is getting taken down. We do have examples of when the queen is not part of this initial kill squad. You can take her down mid-raid, but it really depends on, well, you need to use your spells, basically. In this one, it made sense just to take her down in kind of a suicide hero attempt. That just means using your heroes and then they're going to go down. Actually, if you can bring your troops in quick enough, you might be able to save them. So as the balloons come forward, then the haste spells again used on the perimeter, and the lava hounds coming in from separate angles. Now these are kind of non-traditional bases that you would think of for Lavaloon. Normally the ideal base for a Lavaloon would be having air defense spread around the base, because remember, them lava hounds go directly to the air defense. That means that you can have coverage for your balloons throughout the entire base if the air defense are evenly spread. On this base, they were right the way through the middle, so that is where the balloons on the outside and the haste spells really are vital in order to take down the base. And just check it out. All of the defenses are down. We have a heal spell, a rage spell, and a haste spell left over. Now this is a competitive league as well. This is the Clash Cup League that Elite Gaming are competing in, so this is high level, and we crushed that base with plenty of spells left over. Again, we have lots more attacks, and we're going to try and show you lots of tips and tricks for different base layouts. Let me know though anything you feel I missed down in the comment section. Again, different bases require different things. This one had an air defense right to the side that we could use balloons and a haste spell as sacrificial balloons. Now that is just purely to take down that air defense. Again, you can see nothing in the CC which is going to give our balloons any grief. Otherwise they would have been lured there with that balloon. So you have to think of what is actually going to attack your air troops when you're doing these attacks. Again, we can send our heroes in to just take out the enemy queen nice and easy. From there, we can then do the Lavaloon portion. So really, you want to take note of the air sweepers, but 9 times out of 10, you would want to attack the air defense head on. That's because otherwise your lava hounds will go all the way across the base and leave your balloons vulnerable. But check out them haste spells again. Try not to overlap them if you can help it, but you need to make sure you had good coverage so that you can take out the defenses on the perimeter, and your balloons again will be pushed in through the middle of the base. You do not want them going towards the outside of the base. The easiest way that I can describe this is if you think of a star. Think of the different points of a star and how the balloons, if they went to every point, then all of the buildings in the middle are going to be attacking at them that whole time, and it's going to take them a lot of time to get around them as well. If you can attack all the, let's say, 5 points of a star at separate angles, then the balloons will just clump in the middle, take out the core defenses, which is 9 times out of 10 where your heavy hitting defenses are, and that is going to help you get the 3 stars. One thing we haven't mentioned so far is that wizard towers and splash defenses are your nemesis for this attack. So you really need to think about where your balloons are going to path. It's not necessarily a big issue at the start when you're bringing in your balloons from all them different angles, but when you get to the end of a raid, you have to think about that. And if you are going to come to a wizard tower at the very end, then what you need to do is make sure you can distract it or have spells for it. So we do have an example of that, I believe, but basically all I mean by that is saving a balloon or two in order to distract that wizard tower, or have a heal spell or a haste spell so you can take it down quickly. Here's another base where we decide to push in and take down the air defense. Now look at how tightly compact the base is. That in itself means that it's really good for the Lavaloon strategy. However, it's also very good for the bowlers, especially with the air defense that are in the middle there as well. So as we push forward, golems are obviously vital in order to help protect your kill squad, and with bowlers in the CC, just a couple of wizards and a few golems can help them bowlers get right the way through and take out most of the base. Now why we push in here is look at the key objectives we can take down. CC is gone. Air defense, we're taking a number of them down. As with the air sweepers, we don't then have to worry about them pushing our balloons back, but honestly, unless you're coming head on into the air sweeper and you have no haste spells, it's not that big of an issue. The Archer Queen has gone down and we have air defense on either side, and again it's just about trying to provide that coverage with the Lava Hound, but then the balloons coming in here will take these down easy enough. So as we move forward, just letting the Queen take out the remaining few defenses that we can. Again, that's going to help with pathing, but as this Lava Hound comes forward, notice how the balloons come in at separate angles to take out the different defenses. They do massive amounts of damage. You don't need lots of them over the top of one defense. Spread them around, they do that massive amount of damage on their first hit, and before you know it, pretty much all of them defenses are gone and the balloons move across. There is an air defense at the back end, but like I was saying before, although an air defense is tough on the balloons and it's going to take them down, it's not going to take this amount of balloons down. If it was a wizard tower, it'd probably be more of an issue actually, but we're easily able to take it down. It probably wouldn't have been an issue because the balloons didn't get there at the same time, but again, you do have to take note of them. And the cleanup troops, we didn't really have any in this one, but we did have the lava pups and a remaining bowler. And again guys, just think about how many troops you think are going to be left over at the end of the raid. You do need to think about that in terms of it's always worth just taking the odd troop in order to take down them trash buildings. You don't want to lose out just on that. Checking out this one then, again there's air defense right across the map, and this was definitely a fresh hit. As you can see, trying to bring balloons in to lure the CC, and there's a number of Teslas right on the outside of the base that is there to toy with us, and actually it was doing its job in terms of wasting balloons. However, I wouldn't think that it's such a great thing to do. So there you are then, the wizard, as we were saying before, you need to take that down. So down it goes, another Tesla on the outside. Then check it out over here, we have the Queen. I don't think we've showed you an example of taking down the enemy Queen mid-raid. Basically, what you need to do is have a rage spell over the top of the Queen so that your lava pups or balloons dropping splash damage can take her out, and a skeleton spell is also a nice idea as well, because that can come in there and the skeletons can distract the Queen but also take her out. In this one, we're coming forward to take her out with our heroes, but again, we're creating that path where if you were to send your balloons in now, God knows, they're going to go absolutely everywhere. However, if you can create a bit of a difference here, so we're taking out defenses at the bottom here, you can then control your balloons a bit. You know they're going to go in this section. That is where the Lava Hound comes in along with the balloons, and then you can see that we can just circle around the base from this point. So the Lava Hounds at different angles set off the air bombs. Again, balloons move forward with them haste spells on the perimeter, and then you have your heavier spells for the middle. That is where you want to use your rage spells, right where the balloons clump together. and there's a lot of damage. So right on top of them 2 air defense, notice the heal and the haste spell, 2 wizard towers right on the back end here. Exactly what you do not want for balloons, but we have a heal spell to keep them alive and the haste spell to push them right onto them defenses at the end as well. So even though you can see the wizard towers doing splash damage, it really doesn't matter because we used them spells effectively to take them down, and actually we still have a lava hound there as well, but it does come very close. The spells just wear out, and that was a good example then of how the balloons really do take a lot of damage from the wizard towers. Again, cleanup troops are right around the outside. What you can do is use the balloons for cleanup troops. So you can use the balloons to distract for the wizard towers, but if you don't need them, send them into the high HP buildings once the defenses are down. The balloons will only attack defenses unless they are all gone. You can then send them onto the high HP storages and they'll take them down pretty quick. Just 2 more attacks, guys. Let me know if you're still here and let me know any other tips that you have for players. I'm trying to just, you know, provide a bit of a guide here, but also just provide you with general tips and trips. Wow, we are definitely getting towards the end of the video. General tips and tricks for you guys using the Lavaloon attack, because again guys, it really is a strategy that can take down pretty much any Town Hall 9 base. There goes the enemy Archer Queen again. We don't then have to waste spells taking her out mid-raid, but also, check it out, 2 wizard towers are gone with that as well. Again, they are really, you know, a big nemesis for the balloons. But as we come forward here, attacking the air defense head on, if we came from this side, you can see all of the archer towers that would have been shooting at the balloons, because they are vulnerable when the lava hounds rush across the base. What you would have to do, you can come in from that side, it's not that you cannot, but you'd have to use a lot of haste spells to take them down quickly and try and keep the balloons up with the lava hounds, as we've been doing with these attacks. So again, as the balloons come forward, haste spells right over them wizard towers, but we have the balloons coming on the back end as well in order to distract them, as well as that heal spell for that thicker area of archer towers. And before you know it, all of these defenses are gone. Still have a lava hound which just doesn't pop. Such a shame, but it's not going to matter in terms of cleanup. We already have lava pups taking out the rest of the base, and with so many balloons, and you can see a couple of archers and minions for that cleanup alongside that skeleton spell. That means we could have used that on the queen if we needed, but you can use it just as well in the middle of the base or wherever most of your troops aren't, if that makes sense, because you want to put your cleanup troops where your balloons are not. That means that your balloons don't have to go across the map and you might run out of time. So the last one here then, I hope you have pretty much got a handle on the Lavaloon from this. I've tried to show a variety of different base layouts. Check it out, a CC right at the edge. It's not going to make a big issue this, because there's not a lot there that could attack the balloons, but just drawing it out, it means the queen doesn't then have to deal with it. Now just think about this CC, guys. Where would you put your poison spell? The poison spell does not go on the dragon. The queen can take that out. The poison spell goes on the witch, because the witch can get taken straight out by a poison spell, and then you don't have to worry about it spawning the skeletons and you getting stuck in an endless cycle of not being able to get it attacking onto the witch. As we come forward then, air defense is going to go down, and also again, notice what we're seeing on them initial steps, guys. You are creating a path here for the balloon. So you're actually carving out a section of the base, which means you can then control the balloons. There is a Valkyrie in there, but it's not going to attack the balloons, obviously, so we can just go on with the attack. Just means it'll take out the archers for our cleanup, but it really doesn't matter. So summarising the attack strategy then, you can see lava hounds coming from separate angles towards the air defense, haste spells not overlapping but on the perimeter so that the balloons can take out the defenses on the perimeter, and you need to take out the defenses on the perimeter before the balloons in the center have finished taking out the defenses in the center, if that makes sense, because you don't want your balloons in the middle coming out to the edge of the base. We finally have an example, I should have put this earlier on, of the Archer Queen going down with the skeleton spell and the rage spell. Make sure to let me know in the comments if you have made it right until the end of this video. Make sure to put down hashtag Lavaloon Beast if you watched it right until the end of this video. That's Lavaloon Beast. Make sure to put that in the comments, guys, and share any other tips that you have. I hope that's been helpful for you, though. You can wreck a number of Town Hall 9 bases with this. I've been your host, Judo Sloth, and until next time, peace out, guys.